Long ago, in the land between two great rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates, there lived a people who built towering cities of clay and stone. They were the Mesopotamians, and they walked under the hot sun, shaping the earth with their hands, and writing their stories on tablets of wet clay. But among all their tales, none were as great as the stories of the Anunnaki, the mighty beings who came from the heavens. The Mesopotamians believed the Anunnaki were not gods of distant stars, but powerful beings who walked among them in ancient times. They were tall, with faces like humans but eyes that burned like fire. Some say they wore garments that shimmered like fish scales, and their voices were like thunder rolling across the plains. The people carved their images into stone walls so that no one would forget their presence. According to the old stories, the Anunnaki came to Earth long before the first cities were built. They descended from the sky in great vessels that roared like storms. When they stepped onto the soil of Mesopotamia, the ground trembled beneath their feet. The people who saw them fell to their knees, for they had never seen beings so powerful. The Anunnaki were said to have taught humans many things. They showed them how to plant crops in straight rows, how to build canals to carry water, and how to read the stars to know the seasons. Some even say they gave the gift of writing so that knowledge would not fade like footprints in the desert sand. But not all the Anunnaki were kind. Some were fierce and proud, and they ruled over humans with heavy hands. There are stories of kings who claim to be descendants of the Anunnaki, using their name to command fear and obedience. The people whispered that these kings had the blood of the sky beings in their veins, and so they must be obeyed. In the city of Ur, deep in the ruins of a great temple, there is a carving that shows the Anunnaki gathered in council. Their faces are stern, and their hands hold strange tools, objects that no ordinary human could understand. Some say these tools were weapons, capable of shaking the earth or calling down fire from the sky. Others believe they were instruments of creation used to shape the world itself. One of the most famous tales tells of Enki, the wisest of the Anunnaki. He was said to have created the first humans from clay, mixing it with the blood of a lesser god. His brother Enlil, however, grew angry at this act. He did not want humans to become too powerful, too close to the Anunnaki. And so the two brothers fought, not with swords, but with words and storms and floods. Some say the great flood that drowned the world was Enlil's doing. He wanted to wipe humans from the earth, to silence their growing noise. But Enki, who loved his creation, warned a wise man named Utnapishtim. He told him to build a great boat and fill it with animals and seeds. When the waters rose, Utnapishtim and his family survived, and from them the world was born anew. The Mesopotamians carved these stories into their walls so that future generations would remember. They believed the Anunnaki would one day return, either to judge the living or to rule again. Some even claimed that when the stars aligned in a certain way, the gates of heaven would open, and the sky beings would descend once more. But as time passed, the cities of Mesopotamia crumbled. The temples fell, and the stories faded. The Anunnaki became whispers, then myths, then forgotten names in the dust. Yet their images remain, staring out from ancient stone, their eyes still watching, waiting. Who are they? Were they gods or visitors from another world? Were they teachers or rulers who demanded too much? The carvings do not speak, but they remind us that once, long ago, something extraordinary walked among humans. And perhaps in some forgotten corner of the world, they still do. The wind still blows over the ruins of Mesopotamia, carrying with it the echoes of the past. If you listen closely, you might hear the voices of the Anunnaki, whispering secrets that were never meant to be forgotten. Their story is carved in stone, waiting for those who dare to read it.